We are less than 24 hours away from the start of day one at the US Open, the fourth and final Grand Slam event of the year. This year's field of competitors is filled with recognizable names as well as some fresh faces, all looking to take down defending champions Daniil Medvedev and Emma Raducanu. Thank you so much for joining us today as episode 1 of The Changeover begins right now.
Well, hello, tennis fans. I'm British tennis presenter James Zanadakis. Welcome back to Series 2 of The Changeover Show. We've got an amazing group of panelists to kick us off in 2022. Firstly, I'm joined by Michelle Yu. And Michelle, this year, we're not even allowed to look at each other.
I think sometimes that's a good thing, James, but it's always great to see you. You're a friend, and that's what friends are for.
We're allies this year. That is indeed what friends are for. We also have 6-time Grammy winner Dionne Warwick on the show. Dionne, an honor and a privilege to have you here on the Changeover Show. Welcome.
Thank you, darling. It's a pleasure to be with you.
We also have Megan Moulton-Levi, Monterey Open winner in the doubles in 2015, offering us her tennis expertise here on the Changeover Show. Welcome, Megan.
Welcome. Thanks.
So those are our guests. Let's get stuck into the show. And one of the biggest stories at this year's Open is, of course, the legendary Serena Williams.
I actually root for a lot of the players, Goff and Naomi, and there's so many players that are coming up and that are really good, but there's just a different energy when Serena plays. There's just so much power that comes from within.
It's so obvious how ambitious she is to win another championship.
And then just to watch her take her ballet twirl at the end is just the cutest thing in the world to me. You know, she's like a superhero to me.
Game, set, match, Serena Williams.
Running into Serena right after she played Venus right in these hallways was exciting, and I love Venus, of course. Venus is the one who kind of set it off, you know, for girls like me to watch the game of tennis.
The timing, the balance, the contact point, that is classic tennis from Venus.
This is not like anything else around the world. This is the US Open. This is our top, you know, tennis event. And so it happens here in New York, and if the weather feels good and we're just coming off the summer, and it's just like nothing else you've ever seen.
Well, Serena has been ranked the singles world #1 by the WTA for 319 weeks during her incredible career, including a joint record 186 consecutive weeks, and finished as the year-end #1 5 times. Well, she's won 23 Grand Slam singles titles, the most by any player in the Open era, and unfortunately for us fans, her career is winding down. While certainly Serena is a big story this year, there are many other huge stories in 2022 and a number of key players to keep your eyes on. And let's talk a little bit about some of those players, and we'll bring in, of course, our panelists, starting with you, Michelle. We'll come back to that in a moment's time, but let's just reflect on Serena and what an incredible inspiration she has been over the course of her career, and indeed here at the US Open.
Well, Serena Williams is no doubt a legend, 23 Grand Slam titles, but believe it or not, I think at the end of the day, people are going to be remembering Serena Williams for what she has done to the sport of tennis. She has transcended the sport. She made thousands of little black girls and boys pick up the sport, creating opportunities that they thought would never have been there. She is a voice for so many people that didn't have a voice in the world of tennis, a fiery, passionate player out there, and she's certainly a hero to all of us.
Well summed up there, Michelle. Megan, obviously, you know, as a tennis player yourself, how influential was Serena over your career?
I mean, totally. I remember when I got to play her here at Grandstand 2012 to a packed, sold-out stadium, and the moment that I got to be on the court with her was really something special. And, you know, she was so kind to me. She She gave me a signed dress for my nephew who has special needs. So not only is she an amazing tennis player, but she's really an amazing person with a huge heart, and we're all going to miss her.
And Dion Warwick, obviously it's such a pleasure to have you on the show. Just talk about Serena's love power and how she's reached out to you over the years.
Well, you're quoting a lot of songs of mine. I'm thrilled about that, darling.
I mean, look, she's an influential star, but just talk to us about how she's reached out to you and the impact you feel she's had on tennis over a fantastic career.
I met her the first time, I believe it was she and her sister, Venus, played at Wimbledon. Gladys Knight and I had the pleasure of meeting both of them. Such delightful young ladies. And subsequently, I was a guest at her special on her documentary, and she embraced me as she always did. It was a joy, and she still is a joy. I'm thrilled for her. She's a real mommy, which is very pleasing to me. And she's at the point now where she feels this new time.
Yeah. It's good to have sort of a bit of a knowledge about how she's affected people, not just within the tennis world, but outside of the tennis world. And obviously, Dion there giving us a bit of insight how she's affected those in the world of music. Now, Serena Williams is not just one to watch here at the US Open in 2022. There's a whole host of other players that are going to make an impact in this competition.
The 2022 US Open is more wide open than ever. Last year's men's champion, Daniil Medvedev, is the favorite to repeat. Four-time champion Rafael Nadal is always a threat, but we have yet to see if he's fully recovered from his most recent injury. Rising star Carlos Alcaraz is sure to make some noise as well. Is Taylor Fritz ready to take the next step and become the first American to win since Andy Roddick in 2003? On the women's side, #1 ranked Iga Swiatek and last year's winner Emma Raducanu are all but certain to make a run. If Coco Gauff is 100% healthy, she could find herself in the finals as well. But everyone's eyeballs will be on Serena and her last dance. The 2022 US Open is filled with lots of familiar faces, as well as some up-and-comers ready to take over the next generation. The only thing left to do for the fans at home is sit back, relax, and watch some world-class tennis.
Michelle, we'll start with you. Daniil Medvedev on the men's side of the draw, obviously defending his title. Is he one to watch for you, do you think?
Obviously, Daniil Medvedev is a great player. He's the defending champ, but he's not really having that type of year that I think he will win here. I think after that Australian Open final that he lost to Rafael Nadal, I think he lost a little bit of that luster, that little fire. And of course, because of the controversy that has been going on with Russia, he did not play Wimbledon, and so that kind of threw him off a little bit. He did win in Mexico, but it will be interesting to see how he does here. Who I like in this tournament coming in, a player to watch, Borna Coric. I think he won Cincinnati. Just to sum it up real quickly, the 4 players he beat in that tournament: Rafael Nadal, Roberto Bautista Agut, Felix Auger-Aliassime, Cameron Norrie, and then Stefanos Tsitsipas. That's 5 players, and those are pretty nice players to be coming into the Open.
You've reeled them off nicely, Michelle. Dion, I mean,
Yes.
we've spoken about a few players there. Coco Gauff could be a player to watch. Obviously, a finalist in Roland Garros. Is she one of the players maybe that you think could go far here at the US Open?
I think Coco is wonderful. I watched her first game when she played her idol, Venus, and beat her. that was quite something to watch, I tell you. I think she is on a roll right now. I think she's ready to walk into the spotlight.
Megan, the likes of Naomi Osaka and Andy Murray, unseeded, they're certainly going to be players you want to avoid early on in the competition. Could they be ones to watch? You know, some of the I don't want to call them underdogs, but certainly they're not fancy to go all the way here.
Yeah, I mean, look, when you're a young player and you're playing someone like Naomi Osaka or Andy Murray, and you see them that you're drawing them and you're playing them against them, even if maybe they're not playing their best tennis, just their whole persona and stature and fame, really, it can win some matches without backing it up the level of play that they once had.
Yeah. Okay, well, look, we've had a bit of a chat about tennis. We've introduced our panelists and got to know a little bit about their tennis knowledge. Let's loosen things up a little bit. Let's have a little bit of fun. We're going to start with our first game here on the Changeover Show on Series 2. They Said What? We're going to play a recent press conference, a clip from Coco Gauff, who we were speaking about just a moment ago, with one word edited out. Our panelists' jobs is to guess what that word is. Good luck, everyone.
We've been doing the process for like 2 years. I mean, I know what a signature is, but I didn't really combat it in my brain. Well, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, like all these people. And like, I think Roger's the only other active tennis player with out. So that's pretty cool. People ask, I like your it's cool to say, yeah, they're mine. So I guess that's cool.
Okay, well, look, that wasn't straightforward, so let's throw Michelle straight in there. Michelle, what were those bleeped out words?
This is a family show, is it not? I don't think I can repeat some of those words, but...
Breaking news, season 2 of the Changeover Show has been cancelled on the first episode.
I mean, wow, I did think this was a family show, but, I'm going to keep it, PG.
On the subject of family show, I believe your mum has a bit of a crush on me talking about families, Michelle.
Yes, this is true. My mother thinks you're handsome.
My God.
Yes. You see, we put it out there. James's ego has now skyrocketed higher than the planes that are flying around LaGuardia Airport
I'm spitting
around here.
facts. Michelle, you've lost your chance to have a guess. Megan, it seems like a while ago now we saw that clip, but some beeped out clips from Coco Gauff. Any idea what she could have been saying there?
She was talking about shoes.
Shoes.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. Shoes. Dion, we'll throw it to you. Any ideas? Any guesses?
No, I don't have a guess. I really don't.
All right. Well, look, we've had a play with this. We've had a try with it. Let's see the reveal.
We've been doing the process for like 2 years. I mean, I know what a signature shoe is, but I didn't really combat it in my brain. Well, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, like all these people. And like, I think Roger's the only other active tennis player with his shoe out. So that's pretty cool. People ask, I like your shoes. It's cool to say, yeah, they're mine. So I guess that's cool.
Megan, I love it. How did you know that, by the way?
Because I started walking around in some fancy shoes.
Yeah.
People were talking about it. I had a little bit of intel.
You know your stuff. I like that. Okay, Megan, up and running and flying here on the Changeover Show. Well, listen, so many exciting players to watch in this tournament. But there's also some players we're so used to seeing who sadly won't be here. Roger Federer and Novak Djokovic. Now, before we talk about Roger Federer, let's talk about Djokovic. US Open Tournament Director Stacey Alister released the following statement. Novak is a great champion and it is very unfortunate he will be unable to compete at the 2022 US Open as he is unable to enter the country due to the federal government's vaccination policy for non-US citizens. We look forward to welcoming Novak back at the 2023 US Open. Well, look, Michelle, I mean, the tournament is not a better place without Novak Djokovic. We're all going to miss him, but rules are rules, and that's just the way things have to be this year.
Yeah, definitely. There's some certainly mixed feelings that Novak Djokovic is not here, and of course so. 21-time Grand Slam champion and 3-time US Open winner here. Who doesn't want to see Novak here? We all know he can put on a show, but this is beyond the US Open. This is about the government in this country that is making these types of rules, so it has nothing to do with this tournament at all. So it's just a shame that, we won't be able to see it, but hopefully he will be back here in 2023.
Yeah. We will hope to see Novak back next year. We can't obviously go any further without talking about the absence of Roger Federer. But before we start that conversation, let's see what type of lasting impact his career has had on so many players that have come after him.
Roger is Roger.
Roger Federer was always my idol growing up.
Really, through the bulk of my junior career, Federer was the guy.
Oh, he's massive, isn't he? He's one of the greatest sporting figures of all time.
Oh, I mean, he's the Jordan of tennis. I think without him, these other great champions wouldn't be who they are.
We're super, super lucky and fortunate to have Roger, along with a couple other guys, be the face of our sport.
Watching what he can do on a court is pretty special.
The way he plays tennis is so effortless.
He makes it look so easy, and the grace he plays with and how smooth he makes it look, I think is why everyone loves him so much.
Talking of legends, let's throw back to Dion. Roger Federer, I mean, what an impact he's had on the world of tennis. A very popular figure, not just amongst fans, but amongst tennis players alike as well.
He's a basic class act. he really is. I enjoy watching him. He's so fluid. He's like a ballet dancer. He's wonderful. And he's, like I said, he's class act.
Yeah, after Roger Federer, I'm not sure if I'll ever fall in love again. Megan, Roger Federer, I mean, the tournament... You know what we're doing now, right? Megan...
Dion, I'm going to say a little prayer for you. When it comes
Okay, I appreciate
That's all I
that,
have to say.
Just don't make me over, okay?
Megan, then came you. You know, reflecting on Roger Federer, the career he's had. We're so lucky in tennis these days, aren't we? We've got such greats playing the sport. You know, you feel Roger Federer will be back for maybe one more bite of the Big Apple.
I mean, we hope so, but I can tell you that his impact on the youth, you know, his transition and becoming a more mature tennis player and, you know, having those outbursts and then turning into this class act, I think has been such a huge role model for all the kids who are playing right now.
Yeah, I quite agree. We're nearly ready to wrap up episode 1 of the Changeover show. But Dion, just before you go, do you know the way to San Jose?
Yes, absolutely. And I've also been told I'm what the world needs now.
A 6 times Grammy winner. You've been a star on the Changeover show. Megan, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on as well. And Michelle, hi, welcome back.
Good to see you too, James. You're stuck with me for a long, long time here at the US Open. Just FYI.
Well, look, I've missed you. It's great to be back with you. Thanks again to Dion and to Megan. That's it for episode 1, but we'll be back, of course, throughout the whole course of the US Open. Every day we're bringing you shows here of the Changeover show. We'll see you next time. It's bye for now.